Hey, what's up everybody? Tuesdays here. So it's finally winter here in northern Michigan. It's the middle of February. I'm not kidding, just a week ago we had no snow at all. Now, if you saw some of my previous videos, beginning of January we got a monster snowstorm. We had over 1.5 feet, and that's normal. That's honestly what we have for the rest of the season, usually. Anyway, so I got a little downtime for my outside projects. So I'm going to fix a couple things in the shop. And this is honestly, something you should really be doing throughout the year. Schedule time when you don't, when you're not super busy with everything else. Make your workspace more usable. So that's what we're going to do. Let me show you real quick, and then I'll show you what the actual process. So my big concern right now is this corner over here. This whole section, I honestly hate it. I hate these pipe jacks. I hate the stands. The lathe and the mill back here are just a pain in the butt to use. And this just kind of happened because I was putting the barn together little by little. And, I didn't really have a clear plan from start to finish it. I mean, overall, it's still very usable, but I want it better. Okay, so this pallet rack right here is going to stay. I like how it kind of partitions off this section of my barn, my shop. Now, one thing I did was I made this sheet metal rack right here. It's 4 foot tall, 10 foot deep. And no matter what I do, because I don't want to move that, so I'm going to have to keep this area clear, right? So I'm going to have to be able to pull sheets in and out of there. However, these two, so there's this big gray cabinet and these green shelves. I'm going to move those over here. Now I've got this pallet racking in the back corner. All of this back here is pallet racking, but this part right here, this was some sort of, I don't even know what it is, but I used it, I just clamped it onto the pallet racking, and I used it, or am using it, to sort and store steel stock. Well, that leaves this huge chunk of space on the floor unused. And, between floor space and upward space, empty ceilings, not ceiling space, but just above anything you stack, like above that carousel, there's nothing. It's just empty, unused space. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that rack there. I'm going to pull the carousel out, and then I'm going to build a rack on the wall for all that steel stock right there. And then I'm going to take this gray cabinet and the green shelves and put them where the steel stock used to be. Then I'll be able to take at least the lathe and probably the drill press, which I have tucked way around in the corner right now, way over here. The drill press and that whole wooden cabinet or shelving unit, that's all my drill bits and drill related stuff. That's all this corner right here. And if you're drilling holes in 2x4s or really anything, this drill press is not in an ideal location. So by putting it on an end cap over here, I'll be able to put, 6-8 foot pieces of angle iron in there or whatnot. But that's the plan. So I've already got the new chop saw put down on the floor. Normally it's going to live up on that bench, but because I need to be able to pump this rebar through there, we're just going to leave it on the floor, and I'm going to set up a little line so I can make quick, easy cuts. But I'm going to use rebar as my dividers. I've got some sheet metal sitting over there on the bench. We're going to cut that up, weld it all up, and make a big old rack to put on the wall behind the carousel. Here we go. All right, everybody, it's been a crazy 10 days. I started the project, you know, the rearranging, reorganizing the barn, and while I was doing that, I realized I had all this scrap, so I got into a whole bunch of scrapping, and I scrapped out like 40 motors and a dozen or two transformers and all my aluminum, and not all of my steel, but a bunch of steel, like 1,600 pounds worth of steel. So I literally just got done, well, I just finished up the Thingamajigger Thursday video, and right before that was the final little bit of sweeping up and cleaning up. So I'm gonna take you around real quick, you know, just to show you how it kind of turned out. I'm pretty pleased with it. Go figure, right after I'd already got everything arranged how I wanted it, I found this shop press, and I've been looking for a shop press for years. This is a 30 ton. I found it for 200 bucks. And it's older, but it's, I think, made in USA. It seems like it's really nice quality. I'm gonna put new angle on the feet of it, but other than that, it works. So, but that boogered up my, my plan. But anyway, here we go. All right, so we'll start back here. That's the green shelves and the gray cabinet that I was talking about in the beginning. And they fit right nicely on the end of that pallet racking. And then all that steel stock, here's how that turned out. Pretty happy with that. A little easier to access, and it's not, the rack itself isn't sticking out so far. It's a little bit wider versus deep, so I was able to sort everything. Got the carousel or Lazy Susan for the hardware. That's mostly like nails and lag bolts, mostly. So that all worked out pretty good. Now this section over here is what I was really trying to take care of. And I'm pretty happy with it. You all got to see the making of my little Akro bin wall mounts there, so that worked out pretty handy. I'm not entirely pleased with this cabinet being where it is. That door, I had to not use a little bit of my Akro bin space right there because of the door, but it still works. One of the problems I had before was this lathe. If I wanted to put anything in there that's longer than the lathe, I didn't have anywhere for that to go. You know, it would just stick right out into something. So now, yes, there's a toolbox there, but that's on wheels. So I can move that out of the way if I need to really easily. And the next thing was all my drill stuff. So we got the drill press with all of those, with all the drill bit attachments. And then in the bottom of the toolbox here is all the rest of the drill attachments. 4 drawers worth of drill bits and all sorts of other stuff. So it's pretty handy now. I can actually just put, you know, longer stock in there, and if I need to get anything out of my rack, it's not a big deal just to turn that thing. I'm not digging in that steel rack very often. I did have this drill press turned a little more out, but now that I got this shop press, I can't really do that. I might scoot the shop press a little bit to the right so that I can pull that drill press out just a smidge. Now the rest of the metal fab area is pretty much the same. Then this corner over here, this is where the drill press used to be. And it was a total friggin' shit show mess. So now I can actually reach my AV receiver without a step stool. Got a nice little area for the camera equipment. I got extra storage space down there. Got that torpedo heater tucked away. And then because I moved all that drill stuff, I've got loads of bench space left over. And even up higher, I put a whole nother shelf up there, which I haven't even had to use yet, but I will, I guarantee it. If there's a horizontal surface anywhere, it gets filled. All right, well, I hope this inspired you all to do a little rearranging of your own. You know, like I said before, function over form, make space usable, friendly. You know, I know a lot of really busy people have really messy workbenches, and I do from time to time. But it takes so long to find tools or parts when it's just a complete mess. It's been that way for the past couple of weeks. Doing all that scrapping, I had just stuff everywhere. It was getting to the point where it'd take me 5 minutes to find a screwdriver that was literally right in front of me the whole time, just because it was all piled up. So if you got any questions or comments, please throw it down there. And you know, these videos take a lot of time and effort to make. So if you would, please take a quick second, hit that like button, consider subscribing. We'll catch you on the next video.